So welcome to Life by Design. My name is Erin. We're going to get right into it. So I decided to, instead of making an apron for my kid, I'm going to make an apron for myself. And I found this gorgeous apron when I went to the Energi Museum here in Denmark. It was in the 1930s house, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I liked the style. I just absolutely fell in love with it. So I decided to make one for myself because my son ended up getting an apron that works absolutely perfect for him. So here you can see me working with Illustrator to plan out exactly how I want the apron to look. And I am exploring Illustrator. It's not anything that I have been using for a long time. It's something that I saw Mariah Patty use, and I just fell in love with it. I love how easy it is to work with. You can see the picture that I just moved is the apron. So this is me just figuring out if I can color it or not. And here is me pulling my back croquet that I made of myself to figure out how I want the back of the apron to look. I took a picture of myself. I took a couple of different poses, and then I figured out which pose that I like the best. And it's usually one leg forward, hip up, and then I wanted an arm down so I can see a sleeve down, and an arm up so I could see kind of a sleeve up that way. And I took it from the front and the back. Here I'm just trying to figure out how the back is supposed to go. I wasn't sure how I wanted the back of the apron like straps to work, if I wanted them straight down or if I wanted them to crisscross. I actually end up crisscrossing them anyway. But you see here is where I thought they would go down. Maybe I wanted a little wider. And then I thought here, maybe I'll crisscross them. And I decided that I just wanted them straight down. Yeah. And here I'm just figuring out if I want the straps wide. I thought I was going to have a strap that was very wide on my shoulder and with a small attachment point on the front part. So now you can see the completed apron, and here I'm just trying to play with colors, seeing how I wanted it possibly to go, and me trying to figure out how to block the colors correctly. I'm still working on Illustrator. It is a work in progress. I am not an expert, but I'm working with it. Okay, I'm working on it. So that is how I want the apron to look, front and back. Here I'm just detailing what measurements I'm going to need. So I'm definitely going to need a shoulder measurement, a breast to waist to my desired length. I'm going to need the waist around me, my shoulder to waist for the bottom, and then the width measurement and things like that. And here I was just trying to figure out if I wanted to like do a pattern or embroidery, maybe a couple of patterns on here. I ended up just using a single fabric because that's what I had available. I thought I had more than I actually did, but I ended up going with this gorgeous red and white striped fabric. I know I bought it at the thrift store. I can't remember when I bought it. I've had it for at least a year to 2 years. And I think it was a curtain. It's very thick, so it worked really well. But I asked the people that follow me on Instagram if they wanted this fabric or another fabric. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're very welcome to. I post when I remember. And this fabric one, of course it does. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just cutting out the bottom piece here. You can see I've drawn the darts there. Yeah. And I am just marking out measurements right now for what I don't quite remember. I think this was for the top. Yeah, this was for the top. I want to call it the bodice, but it's not that fancy. I tried to keep the top hem and the bottom hem with the hems that were already on the curtain fabric. Now I'm just matching up the point that I created in the bottom with the point in the top, because it was one very important detail that I liked was how it was pointed. And me just playing with the darts. I only planned to make 2 darts, but I ended up doing more, which added to like this weird ruffled like fupa in the front. I did not plan on it. Now I know. So that was quite interesting. So now I am cutting up for this was some extra straps. I thought I was going to use the straps here as part of the straps, but I actually didn't. I ended up making more of my straps. So here are all the pieces cut out. I have the top, the bottom, the 2 straps, and the 2 side tie strap thingies, ties. Oh yeah. Now what the hell am I doing? Oh, I'm pinning the darts in place. Yes. Work my magic here. And now I'm attaching the bottom part to the top piece. Like, talk about imposter syndrome. I hear like Rachel Maxey talk about attaching things to the bodice, and I just don't feel like I'm at the level of sewing where I can say like bodice without thinking I'm like faking it. Oy. Okay, now once I attached this together with the darts, I ended up sewing it, and this is my hand crank machine. I am mostly working on a hand crank machine right now. I'm a little bit afraid of electric machines, and because electricity is really high in Denmark right now because of the war, I'm trying to use as much manpower as I can, and I just love her. Her name is Sweetie Singer. Yeah, she's my girl. She likes to bite sometimes, but who doesn't? And I have to, with her, when I have to close a seam, I have to keep the needle down into the fabric, lift the foot up, turn the fabric around, go back over it. And I usually do it for 4 or 5 stitches. Now I'm going to press these down because I want to do a top stitch. So it looks pretty, and so the hem is kind of stayed in place because I'm going to roll the hem and then do a top stitch over it, which is really thick. It was really thick to sew through that. And my kids love working with the hand crank machine with me. They just absolutely love it. So I'm happy. So here you can see me doing the top stitch. I'm trying to keep everything down as I'm going over it, double checking that the hem is still rolled when I do this. Dog, quiet. She needs to go for a walk soon. I just poured myself a cup of coffee. Coffee ASMR. Yeah. You'll actually see her for the first time in this video, like properly see her when I do the outro. So that will be my puppy Rika. Here I'm just checking to see how everything is kind of looking and fitting, doing a quick, I guess, fit check. This is where I realized the fupa. There you go. Now I'm cutting the bodice down. I didn't think I was going to. When I was initially working on this, I was only going to keep it straight, but then I ended up cutting it to the point again like I liked it. And here I am sewing up the side ties. I sewed them to like a slanted point because I thought it was really pretty. And I thought I was going to use some of the already like hemmed things for this, but I ended up making my own. Yeah. Snip, snip, snip. this is me trying to turn it inside out. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. That took at least 10 minutes. Yeah. And here I am rebobbing my sewing machine because the bobbin ran out of thread. So I'm doing a top stitch on some of the side seams now. I think that's what I'm doing. Yeah, it looks like a top stitch because I top stitched everything for consistency's sake and because it looked pretty. And now I'm attaching the side straps. Yep, the side ties down. I attached them down right sides together. Oh, I'm working on it again. Wait, is this? Yes, it was. Yes, I'm top stitching them down because I took a break because I couldn't figure out how to attach them properly, so I took a break to top stitch them down. Yeah, I ended up attaching it to the right side, stitching that down, and then rolling it kind of back in an S curve, and then top stitching it down. This is just a close-up of Sweetie. And here I'm attaching the straps to the top. And just top stitching it down so it looks pretty. And here you can see it in use. That is my oldest child there. He's helping me cook, and you can see it fell down. I thought, I'm gonna get this closer. I thought I would do a wrap-up while I fix my apron. Talk about the project a little bit. And I really enjoyed how this apron came out. I really enjoyed how I made the patterns myself. I like how I designed it based off of something I knew. I've never done that before. So I'm really happy how it came out, minus the whole, the straps are a little too long. But I'm really happy how this came out. I'm really happy with and just doing something brand new to me. To make something like this apron from something I saw in reality was really cool. And then to design it myself is really awesome. And I'm really, really enjoying using Adobe Illustrator to kind of figure out what kind of clothes I want and to detail my wardrobe. I'm really enjoying that. Even though I'm not 100% like amazing at fashion design and Illustrator. But I found some really cool courses and blogs about how to do it to get more better at Illustrator. Because the Illustrator I'm used to using is for logo design. So it's been kind of really simple versus me trying to freehand it. And I use a Wacom tablet to try to get it. But I'm used to drawing like on paper. So I'm used to having that hand-eye coordination like that. Whereas when you use a tablet, a drawing tablet, the old style ones, you don't see that. I don't have an iPad. I'm not an Apple fan. I'm not going to get one. So that's not going to happen. So it's been a learning curve, but a really good learning curve. And I've made mistakes. I had to rip up the seam for something. I don't remember which one it was. I made judgments in the moment that I changed my mind about. But all in all, I'm really happy with what I've accomplished. I'm really excited about my sewing journey. I'm really excited about it. There's very few things that have made me happy lately because I've just been not having some good days. Like this video came out 2 weeks after I had planned on it coming out because life got in the way. Last week on Thursday was my youngest son's birthday, and then we had a birthday party for his entire school where I got left alone with 10 children. 10 7-year-olds, mostly boys, who wanted to beat the living crap out of me because it was a pirate fest. So, of course, I had swords. I was dressed like a pirate and everything. But and then to deal with that, I went out with some friends for dinner and alcohol. So, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the channel too, because I really like it. Like I got like 2 subscribers that I don't know. So that makes me happy that other people are interested in what I'm putting out there. Shoot. Okay. There. I need a pin. So, like, once I get a job, ow, I poke myself an insane amount. Whew. Oh, my dog has the worst farts ever. Like, ever. Whoo-ha. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to fix these straps because they were falling down this way. So if I crisscross them, I think it'll be a little bit better. That's what I'm sewing right now. And if you haven't noticed, I use my hand crank sewing machine for everything. I love my hand crank sewing machine. Ugh. Ow, Finn! Ew. Rip up something. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I bought this at the thrift store, actually. Let's not get blood on the apron. A long time ago. And for the longest time, I was absolutely afraid of using sewing machines. I didn't like machine sewing. I have a plug-in one, an electric one. But I was just terrified of using them for some reason. And I was terrified of using this. I didn't want to break it, blah, 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 blah. And now I've gotten over that fear. Just darn. She's thick. What I was talking about. But yeah, I love her. I call her Sweetie. She is my designated sewing machine for most things. I just like using a hand crank. I with the electric ones, I don't like the noise, and I don't like the speed. And I've never been able to figure out how not to get it so fast, because sometimes I want to go really slow like this, and that's where I like the hand sewing, because I can move it around at my own pace. Thank you for watching Life by Design. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to follow my journey. I upload every Friday. And remember to live a life by design, not by default. Hi.